Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show.
More and more people every day are getting home improvement project ideas from social media. So stay tuned to Today's Homeowner to find out how to put those ideas to work.
Turned out great, Chelsea. Good job.
Once upon a time, people got their ideas for home improvement projects from magazines and TV shows like ours. But these days, social media sites like Pinterest, Instagram, and others allow people to share their ideas with everyone. This week, we're going to help homeowner Michelle Howard turn a few online ideas into real-world improvements. She and her husband Stuart built this house about 11 years ago, but improving it has been an ongoing project for Michelle ever since.
I love the house, that it's so large that we get to change things up. We love the outdoors. We do outdoor activities, I think, a lot. So I think I've just kind of incorporated those outdoor feelings, I guess, into inside. I like things that are casual and easy, comfortable.
She's the most creative, and I don't know why she just is. I'm always preoccupied with other stuff, I guess.
Paying for everything.
Yeah. I pay for stuff, she thinks up with ideas.
I like to salvage things, to take things that are already in existence and make them into something.
And that's exactly the kind of thing we love to do, so this should be fun.
Okay, you've been looking around a little bit. I bet you found a lot of different ideas there, huh?
I found a ton of ideas. I'm so excited about the ones I found, though.
Now, what about the television idea?
It was something I never would have thought I'd like too much, but I found this, and
Oh, look at that.
Really dressed up the TV, and our TV just sort of is just there.
I like that. That's a good one.
Okay. That's the one, and then the other one was whitewashing a table. I have a space in there that needs a bedside table.
Yeah.
And with the colors that I have in there, sort of a neutral palette, I thought whitewashing would really look good.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I found several sites online that would have something like that available.
Oh, you have been busy.
Yeah. The last one, which is going to be the best one,
Oh, a
is
door project.
a door project.
Lots of door projects out there.
We take and paint the door,
Right.
and then add photos, and then hooks at the bottom. So I have a great wall upstairs. It's a long wall, there's nothing there, and I have a ton of photos that I've just never printed.
Those are things, in the construction business, of course, we call them 15 light.
Okay.
15 light French doors. So
Right.
do you have 15 photos you want to display?
At least.
Okay, good.
Probably a lot more than that.
So the frame TV project is first on the list, and Alan can't wait to put his cabinet making skills to work.
All right, Jill, I'm gonna get some measurements for you here.
All right.
All right. Now you have to be accurate. You have to be very accurate.
That may be a problem.
All right, 48 and 15/16.
Okay.
When's the last time you operated a chop saw?
I would say never.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Okay.
Wow.
Very good. The measurement we have, what was my measurement, Michelle? The long one?
That would be 48 and 15/16.
48 and 15/16. All right, Michelle, this one's all you.
All right, this is kind of fun.
All right, hang on before we do anything.
We don't want to get any fingers.
We don't want to do that. All right, very slowly.
All right, you ready? Woo!
Very good.
All right.
That's our board.
So measure twice, cut once.
That's it.
That's what my daddy always said. Didn't sound right.
Other than lifting it up at the end,
It sounded bad.
let's see what we got here. It's pretty good. You did okay.
Okay, thank you. Could use some sandpaper.
A little bit. Here's my question for you.
Okay.
When you are looking at this piece, and you've got a box basically that's surrounding the television,
Right.
do you want to see the frame where you have a little bit of a reveal so you can actually see part of this wood beyond.
Right.
Gives it a little character, a little depth.
Yeah.
Could do it flush. Totally up to you.
I think I like character. And
You
depth.
like character.
Absolutely.
That's why you called me.
That's right.
I got it.
So Mr. Modesty also gives Michelle a nail gun tutorial while they assemble the frame.
That's it.
Just like that.
Now, once the frame is complete, they can take the measurements for the trim that surrounds the frame.
I need a mark
like a
at
pencil?
35 3/4.
Then make the cuts, and finally put it all together.
I think I like this thing.
Yeah.
Feel powerful.
Right in there.
I can target practice with my deer back there.
While these two decide whether to finish up this TV frame or hunt styrofoam deer with a nail gun, let's check in with Joe for a simple solution.
One of the challenges of drilling with a cordless drill is how do you know when the bit is perfectly straight so you get a perfectly straight hole? Well, you may have seen this trick before where you can take any square block of wood, in this case a 2x4, and you hold it in place and you put the bit up against, you align the bit with the block, and now you know you're perfectly straight, right? That's a great tip, except what about this direction? It doesn't help you with this direction, only in one direction. So here's a better idea. I just took a couple of little pieces of 1x4, I screwed them together to form this inside angle. That's what you need, that inside corner. And now, when you put the bit in place to drill and you hold this jig up against it, you put the bit right in the corner. And now, as you can see, it's being held in both directions, perfectly square. And you just drill your hole. And if you cut the block the right length, which I did here purposely, you see I have 3/4 of an inch sticking out. That's exactly what I need, a 3/4 inch deep hole. And so I can just drill down, and when the chuck hits the top of the jig, your hole's done.
This week, we're helping Michelle Howard complete some great DIY projects that she got ideas for online. She and Alan just completed a decorative frame for the TV in her family room, and now her friend Jennifer, who's a decorative painter, has dropped by to help her decide on how to finish it off.
The fireplace right now has a lot of motion, a lot of layers on it, and if we do that on the box around the TV, we're going to have competition between the two. So I feel like we should go with the same tones, more of a muted layers, and we'll tie that all in so it'll kind of sink back into the wall.
Jennifer has painted several pieces in Michelle's house, so she has a good handle on what Michelle likes. But she's a professional, so she also knows what homeowners in general are interested in.
For your average homeowner, this is not a difficult process. It is important to be prepared, to sit back and see what you are trying to achieve, what colors you want to use, and then you take those in, and it's all layers and steps. So it is important to have somebody to maybe guide you in the beginning.
Jennifer is showing Michelle how the colors will work together on a sample.
We're going to start with your wall color. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll take a little bit of that and just lightly go over so that you kind of get striated effect.
Okay.
It kind of blends in, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of passes with it, and then we're going to let it dry.
Okay.
This next color that we're going to do is the main color of your mantle. So we're going to go take that, we're going to dry brush it on, a little bit thicker this time, but you can see in the pieces that we have the wood still showing, a little bit of your wall color. See, but now, you know, in the beginning there were two different, colors, kinds of wood. So right now they're coming together.
Right.
So we're going to put those on, and then once again we're going to let this dry.
Okay.
This
good.
is a dark chocolate glaze,
Oh, I really like that.
and this is going to make the piece a little warm. What you can do, come back even with the paper towel, smear it in a little bit.
Okay. Wow, I really
See,
like that.
so it's not as harsh.
So while Jennifer gets to work on the finished frame, Michelle and I get started on her next project. Well, Michelle, I love this idea of using a door to display photos. It's pretty innovative, but where did you end up with this great looking door?
Well, I looked online on Craigslist, and someone had it left over from a project.
Yeah.
Had several doors they were trying to get rid of, and it was a great price.
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, it worked out great
works,
for me.
works well for this. So
Yeah.
I have a drill over there if you want to go ahead and remove the hinges,
Okay.
and I'll start on cutting the door off. Now, if you're faced with a project around your house where you're having to cut a door off, you need to do a few things to make sure that it doesn't splinter and really mess up the door. Whether you're cutting a door to even up the margins on the top and bottom like we are, or you're having to trim off a door to accommodate that new tile floor you just installed, it's important to begin with a straight, square line. But don't stop with a pencil mark. Use a sharp utility knife and a straight edge to score the surface of the wood. That way, when you run your saw through it, the face of the door won't splinter.
All right. If you want to grab that little piece of sandpaper, it won't require much sanding, but you may want to sand it just down that edge just a little bit.
All right.
And I think at this point, we pretty much can turn it over to Jennifer. Do you notice the plastic on here?
Yeah.
That's going to make it real nice to be able to do all of the painting without doing that. They do a lot of the newer doors that way. So
I was happy to see that plastic.
it's like you've done this before. Wow.
That's nice.
Pretty good. All right, well, I'll tell you what, I did my part. You and Jennifer can do the painting, and then I'll help you hang it a little bit
All
later.
right. Thanks, Danny.
You know, I'm thinking of all the projects that I've done, and I'm trying to remember, is there a project where I didn't use a tape measure? I don't think so, because this is probably the most popular tool in my toolbox. But, you know, not all tape measures are created equal, and let me show you why. I know you can't see it, but can you hear that? This is a metal tape, but it's been coated with nylon. What that does is it makes it more durable. It's not gonna crack like my old metal tape measure does. It actually is gonna last up to 10 times longer than a typical metal tape. Another feature on this is, look, if you're working by yourself and you've got metal studs or you're working with conduit, it's got dual magnets on the end. So look, it can hold it in place while I go down the line to get my measurement. But I have to admit that this is probably the best feature of all, in my opinion. You know how when you extend it out and you lock it into place, and then when you release it, 9 times out of 10, it snaps back on your finger? Well, this little bar right here stops that. So when I release it, look, it stops it from smashing your fingers. That right there is worth the price of admission alone.
Michelle Howard loves to get home decorating ideas from social media sites, so this week we're helping her give some of them life. Right now we're converting a 15-light French door into a wall hanging to display family photos. Michelle's friend Jennifer is about to add a unique finish to the project, and I'm curious to find out what it is.
So where did you end up as far as the finish?
Jennifer came up with a great idea to do a red and some
We're gonna
glazing.
do a red barnwood antique finish.
I see.
So we're going to do a layer of a spray primer that's a dark rustic red, come over it with a lighter red, and then finish it off with an antique glaze.
Wow.
And then after that point, we'll
I'm
take
excited.
The edges, we'll
It's gonna
do
look
the
great.
edges and distress
That's a
those
lot
to kind of
different
give
than
it.
a lot different than the finishes around my camp. You know?
Really fancy camp.
That's right.
Well, I will do a little spackling, and then I will just leave it to you guys to put all that artistic
good.
stuff together there.
Sounds good. So what we're going to do is shake that really well.
Their first step is the spray primer.
Isn't there an exercise device that does this?
That's right.
So we're gonna
But
exercise.
it's your exercise. Okay. We're going to put a complete coat to where you do not see the wood at all.
Do you want me to go ahead and start on the lights on the inside? This is fun. Ish. Beats brushing for sure, doesn't it?
At this point, we're going to let it dry,
Okay.
completely dry before we start our second coat
Okay.
of a dry brush. Sound good?
Good deal.
Okay, so we're going to start with the second coat. So we're going to go one direction.
Okay.
Okay, and I know you're probably like, ooh,
Yes,
that's red.
yes.
But what we're doing is we're creating depth. For this job, a sample amount of paint works just fine because we're going to be layering
Oh,
it.
okay.
Okay, we're ready for coat number 3. This
Oh, wow.
is actually a peat moss
I was
color.
going to say, it looks kind of green.
So what we're doing here is we're bringing in
it's a little bit
kind
more
of a
warm.
little green to it, so it adds a little bit of cool on top of it.
Love it.
And then we will come back and we'll distress the edges. And what that's going to do is that's going to bring that beautiful wood color that is underneath
Right.
to life on the edges and give, especially these light areas, just make it pop.
Hey, look who I found. I found Chelsea wandering
Hey
around out in the
there.
front yard.
I didn't know you were going to go with a red. This looks really good.
Thanks. We're very happy with it. We decided to kind of make it rustic with the upstairs.
Awesome. I think it'll look really good with the hooks I picked
All
up
the
too.
hooks here. Let me see.
Well, do you have that table that you ordered?
I do. Came in today. I ordered it online, and it was in just a few days.
Oh, you're
Awesome.
good at assembling
Yeah,
things
you
like
can put it
that.
together and whitewash it in no
Perfect.
time.
Well, you guys tackle that. I'll put these on. And Jennifer, what are you going to be doing?
I'm going to scrape the plastic off of each of the lights so that the photos will pop.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Y'all get busy.
Thanks.
So while Jennifer and I get the door ready for those pictures, Chelsea and Michelle wrestle with pages of instructions
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's gonna look great.
and a pile of hex-headed screws.
These Allen wrenches are tricky. All right, you ready to go whitewash it?
Let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna whitewash with some flat latex paint. So
Okay.
basically we're diluting it with some water and then we're gonna rub it on like you would any other stain.
All right.
So basically we're gonna do a half and half dilution. So half water, half paint.
Oh, that's a pretty color.
It's a little bit white, a little bit gray,
Yeah.
a little bit pink. All right, it's about mixed up. So we'll just take the rags and saturate it really well down in here and then just rub it on.
Okay. Do we need to go in the direction of the green?
Right.
After the first coat, the wood grain may rise, making the wood seem rough. A little light sanding will fix that, and in no time, these two have a finished piece.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, I do too. Turned out great, Chelsea. I like it a lot.
Awesome.
Good job.
Yay. No, good job to you.
Meanwhile, the door is complete, so Michelle gets Stuart and their son Preston involved with cleaning glass and selecting the photos to mount. But it may be a little difficult to reach a consensus.
This one good?
No. No.
This one?
I like that one.
All right, everyone happy?
Once the photos are mounted, we can move the piece upstairs to the wall where it will hang. For something this heavy, you'll want to use several long screws driven into the wall studs before you call it complete.
Hey, well, if you'll just hold that right in the center of that hole for me, we will assume everybody put 16-inch centers on this thing.
You know what they say. I'm very happy.
Downstairs, Alan has added some felt to the inner edge of the TV frame to keep it from scratching the set, and an elastic strap to secure it to the back. And finally, we're installing the project that got all this started.
So am I still supposed to like mortify that they're banging my TV? Is that the expression you were looking for?
You will need to get it repaired, but
The frame looks good, it doesn't work, but hey, it looks better than it did before. Okay, wow, it looks really good. I really like it. Cannot believe how much it added to the...
it really does look good. I've never done that before.
No, that looks so good.
A question we often hear from do-it-yourselfers is, how do I choose the right sandpaper for the project I'm doing? The answer is as simple as 1, 2, 3, because sandpaper is rated numerically by its grit. The lower the number, the more coarse the sandpaper. For example, you might have a 60 grit sandpaper on a belt sander to remove lots of wood from the edge of a sticking door. 100 grit paper would be a good choice to remove old varnish from the face of a door or smooth out a newly constructed piece of woodwork. When you really want a smooth finish, it's best to begin with the most coarse paper first and work your way up to the finer grits. So after the varnish is stripped on that door, step up to 150 grit paper, then 220, and between coats of the new finish you'll be applying, you can use 400 grit sandpaper. This week we've been helping Michelle Howard take some project ideas she found online, from just ideas to great accessories for her home. The TV frame Alan helped her build adds a great look to the family room, especially with that cool faux finish that Jennifer added. She also used some of her painting tricks on the 15-light door we converted into a wall hanging for the upstairs hallway. It's a great way to display family photos, not to mention Preston's hat collection. And the easy whitewash finish that Chelsea and Michelle mixed up helps that simple bedside table blend right into the decor of the guest room.
You know, I really enjoy being with you each week and sharing a few little tips and ideas to help you improve your home. But boy, when we work with enthusiastic homeowners like Michelle, that's as good as it gets. You know, she's been thinking about these projects for several months, and we were so happy to be able to take a couple days and help her complete a few of them. Hey, thanks so much for being with us this week. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you next week right here on Today's Homeowner.
You're the gum holder, right?
No.
Oopsies.
Close enough.
Okay.
We're rolling.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.